Christmas is a time of presents, family, alcohol, food, seeing that weird family member in your family that you avoid every other time of the year. It's a time of mass consumerism, a time that brings the central idea of capitalistic materialism where the cost of a gift matters more than the thought that's put behind it. Where a fat man in a jolly red suit breaks into your home and steals all the credit for the presents you bought for your own children. The thing is, right, with Christmas, as you can probably tell by my tone, I'm not the biggest fan of Christmas. For various different personal reasons, which I will not get into. I do not hate Christmas. I understand the premise of it, and I understand it's very enjoyable for people. But for me, it brings a level of dread and horror that is hard to put at bay every single year. So, in this video, I decided that if Christmas isn't good for me, I'm going to ruin it for all you guys. So, here we go. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the darker sides of Christmas, some of the things we all experience but don't really think about, some of the rituals and the history of some things. Just because, you know why? Because I feel like it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Krampus. Now, many of us will know the story of St. Nicholas, who lived in what is modern-day Turkey around 300 BC, and he's known to visit children's houses and give them presents. That's the kind of the idea that evolved into Santa Claus. And you know, just a quick side note as well, in case any of you didn't know, Santa actually, apparently for a long time over the centuries, was depicted wearing a green hat and a fluffy jacket, but it wasn't until Coca-Cola got involved and they were like, no, we must make it red because red is Coke. And everyone must associate Coke with fucking Santa Claus. So that's why every year you got this goddamn fat guy going down that fucking, you know, the fucking, what's that fucking Christmas ad where they're in the big truck, you know, and it's like, holidays are coming, holidays are yeah, you know what I'm talking about, that thing. So many of us would know the story of St. Nicholas, of course, but have you heard of his friend Krampus? Now, Krampus is a horned goat-like human figure that scares children who misbehave by beating them with sticks. He is also known to drag children to hell, and also at times known to eat children. This occurs every year on the 5th of December, and it is believed to have its origin from Germany of all places, which I suppose in some ways isn't really surprising. And according to the legend, it's actually a pagan belief. Pretty terrifying stuff, guys. This is a Christmas thing, alright? That's the first one. Now, the Yule Lads is an Icelandic Christmas folklore, which are mountain-dwelling creatures that come into town during Christmas as mischievous pranksters who leave gifts at night. Like most tales, these stories are created to keep children obedient, and these Christmas-related folklores first appeared around the 17th century and displayed some variation based on the region and age. These merry but mischievous fellows take turns visiting the kids on the 13 nights leading up to Christmas. On each of those nights, children place one of their shoes on the windowsill. For good boys and girls, the Yule Lad will leave sweets, but they also have to contend with a creature by the name of Rila, who comes down from the mountains on Christmas and boils naughty children alive, and a giant bloodthirsty black kitty called the Christmas Cat that prowls around the city and the countries on Christmas Eve and eats anyone who's not wearing at least one new piece of clothing. Now, why would this cat kill things based off one piece of clothing? I have no idea. So when we think of Santa Claus, you know, we think obviously the fat jolly man that comes to our house and leaves presents for kids, and it's wonderful for the kids, and blah 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 blah. But have you ever really thought about this, right? The fact that Santa Claus watches children. Why is that? What could a child possibly do in their sleep? You know, why is Santa such a creep? You know, maybe I should do a video on Santa to Catch a Predator, you know? And you can imagine him with Chris Hansen, well, you know, I had presents for the kids, so it's not creepy, you know, I'm fucking Santa Claus. Also, can we talk about the fact that all these toys are made by elves who are not paid? Now, I don't know if you understand how labour laws work, but if you're making toys and you're not being paid, you know what that's called? It's called motherfucking slavery. Santa's evil, guys. He's evil, okay? He watches children when they're sleeping, which is creepy as fuck. He forces these little elves to make presents every year with no money. Where's the money? How do they sustain their lives? You know, are they trapped? Can they escape? Is it like a fucking camp? Is it like a concentration camp or something? And also, can we also talk about the fact that he's an animal abuser? Think of all those reindeer that the haul his fat ass around the whole world. How's that? What the? Is that not animal abuse? I think that's animal abuse, guys. You know, these are the things that I think about that no one else thinks about, you know? So Santa, you're a creep, alright? The next thing I wanted to talk about, of course, in modern times is Christmas music. And, you know, we've seen some Christmas music in recent years get a lot of cancellations, and there's been a lot of controversy since we've come into this woke time period we've been living in the last few years. But like, for example, like if you look at the song "Baby It's Cold Outside," it's effectively a man who tries to go on a date with this woman, who then he decides doesn't want to let her leave his house and keeps trying to convince her to drink alcohol. Like if you look at the lyrics, like he says, "Baby, it's cold outside," and she's like, "The answer is no, but baby, it's cold outside." It's not that's fucking creepy. That is creepy, right? And that's a popular Christmas song that we hear every single year. It's about a dude who will not let a woman leave. And you know what connection he has? He has a connection with Santa. Okay, they're both fucking predators. All right, and that song plays every goddamn year, and it actually highlights how to be a predator. It teaches you, if a woman says no, you keep trying. So let's look at another song. Okay, so Santa Baby. Santa Baby. We know the song I'm talking about. I can't sing it too much, but I mean, that's about a woman that wants to cheat on her husband and have sex with Santa Claus in the sitting room when her children's upstairs in bed and her husband's upstairs in bed. I mean, what the fuck? What kind of horror shit is this? Also, Santa's cheating on hello, is he not married, Mrs. Claus, people? I mean, I can't be the only person that thinks about this stuff. If you're the wife in this scenario and you want to have sex with Santa Claus, you're having sex with a man who uses slavery, is an animal abuser, and watches your children sleep. Also, he's a fat old man. Why the hell? Why would you want to have sex with Santa Claus? You know what I mean? And while we're on the subject of Santa Claus, right? Let's talk about Santa Claus in shopping centre and malls, if we're Americans, for a second. Now, I know a lot of the time I am not in any way suggesting that all Santa Clauses are creeps, but a lot of the time you're going to put your kid on the lap of a stranger that no one knows. Really? I don't think so. I don't see why you would, you know? And it's a weird tradition that started back in, I believe, 1841, where people flocked to see Santa in Philadelphia. But it just seems creepy, and a lot of the time the kids don't like it. You know, it's like child abuse. And then if you look at the Nutcracker, which is based on the 1816 story, The Nutcracker and the Mouse King, the original tale is a 7-year-old girl named Marie who slices her arm open after being startled by a vision of her toy Nutcracker coming to life. As she recuperates, her godfather, Dozzlemere, tells her the tale of a man cursed with the ugliness of a nutcracker by a heartless queen. And then Marie apparently is supposed to marry this dude in the doll kingdom when she's 9 years old. What the fuck? The second last thing I want to talk about is gingerbread houses. Now, this is more of an American thing, and from what I can tell, it's not something that happens in my country too often, but gingerbread houses are based on the 1812's Brothers Grimm fairy tale, Hansel and Gretel, which, in the original rendition of the tale, the witch house was made of bread and roofed with cakes, and the window was of transparent sugar. Now, if you think about it, right, this means that if you didn't know, Hansel and Gretel went into this house and were eaten by a cannibalistic witch. So if you like eating gingerbread houses, just remember, the story is based off a witch that eats people, boils them alive. You know, kids usually, because kids like sweet things. Get the kid into the candy house, bada bing bada boom, dead. The biggest endings of things at Christmas time, I could have phrased that better, but I'm not going to. The biggest endings of things is relationships. One of the most popular times for couples to break up is 2 weeks before Christmas. I've ruined Christmas for you guys. Now, that's just a few dark things I could find. Let me know in the comments down below if you were aware of any of these things, or if there's anything I've missed. Please let me know. Now, this video is nice and short and sweet because I'm very tired and I've had a long week, so it's the best I can do, so apologies. Please like, share and subscribe as always, very much appreciated, and have a very nice Christmas. All being said, this is all tongue-in-cheek. I actually like Christmas somewhat, so enjoy Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, then enjoy having the time off work or whatever. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.